Hi, I'm Hub Arkus with Pro Football Weekly here with our preview of the Sunday night game of the week for Week 13 of the 2012 NFL season. I'm joined by senior editor Eric Edholm. Only two of us because Eric covers both clubs in this ball game. It's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Dallas Cowboys. Now the Eagles are done. Some people thought the Cowboys maybe should be after Thanksgiving Day, but they're still very much in the NFC East and the NFC playoff race, Eric, and wondering when they're going to start playing like it.
They've been so inconsistent all year, Hub. It seems like one guy like Des Bryant on Thanksgiving has a great game, but everybody else can't come together and have that same great game on the same day. They really peaked in Week 1 against the Giants. That was their best performance, and they still committed 13 penalties in that game. It's been an undisciplined football team, one that's prone for great offensive explosions, some big plays on defense, but never in the same four quarters, never for 60 minutes, it appears.
You know, Tony Romo's got 3 Pro Bowls on his resume, but 06, 07, 09, it's been a while, and he's not playing great football right now, and he's turning the football over too much, and you wonder how much of that the head coach, Jason Garrett, was hired as an offensive savant. Between the quarterback and the coach, they're not getting it done offensively on a consistent basis.
Yeah, there are a number of factors here. Number one, it's Romo. He's having to make chances because his receivers aren't out there healthy at the same time. Miles Austin's been dealing with some stuff, and he's been in and out of the lineup. Des Bryant, bouts of concentration drops. Jason Witten was hurt early in the season. And now the run game's gone. You know, DeMarco Murray, he may not play in this game, has been out for 5 games. The offensive line has had injury problems. So you can blame it on a number of things, but ultimately it does come down to the quarterback's head. He hasn't been making plays when he has to.
You know, I heard some interesting comments from Jason Babin after he was released by the Eagles earlier this week, and he was adamant that the players like Andy Reid, they respect Andy Reid, they still have his back, they still believe he has their back, and yet everybody knows at this point it's kind of dead man walking. Babin is now gone. Will the Eagles show up? And I don't know how anybody answers that question.
They haven't recently. You know, I assumed that they're going to go 3-13 the way they've played. I mean, massive defensive breakdowns in the game against Carolina, a team that hasn't exactly been, you know, throwing all over everybody. Even before that, you can go back to the Dallas game the first time they met in Philadelphia. They just didn't look like a team that was cohesive. Didn't look like a team that cared. You know, I've been in contact with the coaches there. I've been talking to them. They say we're all in this together. We're trying to get better. We're getting healthier. And you know, they may not have Michael Vick or LaShawn McCoy. I mean, who knows if Bryce Brown and people like that can bail them out of this game.
You know, the puzzling thing about the Eagles, Eric, is there are a number of head coaches or GMs in the NFL who would take that roster as is, with the exception of the quarterback, and probably think they could compete. Now, why can't, and so, okay, I'm giving you don't have the quarterback, but still they should be more competitive than they are.
I really think the injuries on the offensive line have broken this team down, you know, from the core. I mean, they haven't been able to do anything offensively. It's just amazing to me. Losing Jason Peters, big blow. They signed Demetrius Bell. He hasn't helped. Evan Mathis is the one starting offensive lineman who's in there. He may have to play center this week. He's a left guard by trade, so you can see all the breakdowns they've had up front.
Well, and that brings me back to the Dallas Cowboys and an indictment of their GM, who just happens to be their owner, because the biggest problem with the Dallas Cowboys is probably their offensive line, and they don't have the injuries to fall back on. They're just not very good. They'd be a much better football team if they had a better offensive line.
I think so too. You know, they made 2 signings in the offseason. You know, Nate Living's a guard and Mackenzie Bernardo. So far, neither guy has been able to help. Their center position has been a problem. That may have been the position they should have addressed instead of guard. You can find guards in the NFL. Centers, left tackle, those are harder to find. Tyron Smith took him a while to adjust. So yeah, all these things are really added up to a poor offensive line situation.
So we come down to there will be a ball game. It's a big one for the Dallas Cowboys. It's prediction time. Which way do you think this one goes?
Given that the Cowboys have given up double-digit first-half leads to 4 of their 6 opponents at home this year, I think the Eagles actually may jump out in this one. It may be Bryce Brown, you know, maybe Jeremy Maclin making a play, Brent Selleck, somebody like that. I think they get out to a lead and then blow it. The Cowboys win this one, but closer than maybe people think.
Well, you may be right about how it comes down, but I agree with you. In the end, probably the Cowboys, and I'm not a big Cowboy fan, but the Eagle team just doesn't seem to be showing up these days. That'll do it for our preview of the Sunday night game of the week. For all the best in news, notes, and analysis, news, scoops, and rumors before they even happen, stay with us at ProFootballWeekly.com.